Hello, all my fellow stampers and crafters. This is Colleen with Cards by Coco, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I come to you from a small town in Southwest Washington, and I'm super excited that you can join me. So I actually did this video earlier today, but me being me and editing, I'm just going to record it for you again because I had to delete the other one. So earlier today, I used the fresh freesia and as our background. But we're going to swap it up because I just have a hard time always making the same card twice. So our palette today is going to be, or this afternoon, Berry Burst, Lemon Lime Twist, and Lemon Lolly. We're just going to use the 3 colors. So I'll see how that goes. I have a card base already cut. You know, you get 2 card bases out of 1 sheet of cardstock. So you just go right down the middle. So this actually measures at, let me show you, it measures at 5.5 by 8.5, and you score at 4 1/4. So that's our card base. Now for our second layer, I have a piece cut at 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So let's go ahead, and I can't wait to show you this embossing folder from this wonderful Sweet Citrus bundle that I am working with today. The Sweet Citrus stamp set itself is amazing, and then these are sold differently. You'll find them at the back of the catalog. The dies and this hybrid embossing folder. I cannot wait to show you what this does. So to get the second layer of our card, I'm going to pop this in. I like to line mine up with the bottom line. And then I'm just going to scooch over here to the side of my table. I'm going to use plate 1 here. Let me turn it the right direction for you. Plate 1 and plate 4. And that's our sandwich for the embossing folder. And this is where some of the magic takes place. Look at this. We now have a fabulous background to add to our card base. It's going to go like this. So I'm going to set that off to the side, move this out of the way, and let's do some stamping. Stamping is my favorite, so let me show you how well and how easy it is to make these lemons. We're going to start with this stamp is all one piece. I already have it on my block, and I have these on an E block. Stampin' Up! Always has the block size both listed in the calendar and on the side of your block. So if you're ever thinking to myself, I don't know what size that is, it will be on the side of your block. So let's go ahead. When I have these larger stamps, I like to put the ink on the stamp itself. And then let's give this a little press. So yeah, that video earlier was sure fun, and the card was sure cute, but it was just full of snafus and misinformation. So better to redo it. Okay, so for our second stamp, this is 2-step stamping. This is also 1 stamp right here. And I am going to want, because I want this just a hair lighter, I am going to stamp this off very lightly. So I'm going to apply some ink, but I'm just going to basically just like tap, because I want to add just a little depth to my fruit. So I'm going to grab my sponge dauber and just go around and tap different areas on our fruit here. There we go. If you don't have the sponge dauber and you just have the blending brush, that also will work out really well. And I will show you the blending brush as soon as I get this stamped. Oh, can you see just that little bit? It's just a little bit darker. So if you wanted to do like a pink grapefruit or orange or different types of fruit, you could do your background stamp in one color and the inside of your citrus in another. You could add different colors. You could add in maybe some saffron or a different yellow to add some more dimension. I liked it like this, but you should do it how you like it. This is a blending brush if you're new to crafting. This is a blending brush. This is a sponge dauber. They will both work well for this technique. So whichever one you have in your craft room is the one you should use. So let me show you the magic of this die here and this embossing folder. This is a hybrid embossing folder. So this has a little notch there that our die will fit into. Then you're going to line up your images hanging on to that die. It feels a little awkward at first, but it's really not difficult. You're going to line these up. Look at that. And you're just going to always remember seam side first. Put this through your die cutting machine. And let me show you the magic of this because it is so cool. And then look, they come out. They come out with their little ridges. It looks just like citrus. How fun is that? So the card I'm making today was both inspired by the catalog and by Patty Bennett. She did a card very similar to this, and I just loved it. So, you know, we all take inspiration from each other. So if you take inspiration from this, I hope you make this card. Okay, so we need to stamp our sentiment. I want to show you what I did there. Let me grab another piece of scratch paper here. I had one out. Here we go. And I am using the Have a Zesty Birthday. And I'm, again, staying in the same color palette. I'm going to use Berry Burst. So I'm going to stamp this just down here at the bottom. My stamp looks a mess. It needs to be, oh, let's do that again. It needs to definitely be wiped off. I have been busy in here and I've been using the same color and I haven't been good about cleaning that stamp. So I'm going to move it out of my way so I don't end up wearing that ink. This is from the scallop dies. And just die cut that. And I have one pre-done. This is what it looks like. Now we get to put our card together. And that is always my favorite part. So I'm excited and I'm going to show you how these flowers come together. The one thing I didn't do was share with you how I color our iridescent rhinestones basic jewels. So I take the tip over here and I use the side of it and just go around these gems. I always say that if you don't have a lot of gems, invest in like iridescent rhinestones, the basic rhinestones, the pearls, things that you can color coordinate by using your blends. It's really, they're worth their weight in gold when you're just looking to match something up. These actually are my gift with purchase this month. So if you make a purchase in my online store, I'll send you those as a thank you gift. Okay, so let me go ahead. Let's start. I want this more down towards the bottom. You can see on this one, the vertical one, I went ahead and centered it because I really wanted the fruit to be a little bit more centered to have enough room for those leaves. But I think on this card, I want to put this down just a little bit lower. So let's do that. And I'm using the liquid glue. You all know I have a love-hate relationship with this. Things either slide all over, or I don't know what I do. But because I have this embossed, I want to make sure the glue gets in the grooves. I want my card, the recipient, to get it all in one piece. So I have to tell you a funny story. And this was not me, but another demonstrator told me that she mailed a card when she was first starting and it came out. The person asked her if it was a puzzle or something. Anyway, I thought it was the funniest story I'd ever heard because I could actually see that happening with me. So I want to bring this down a little off center, close to the edge. And let's go ahead. Oh, I think I had a little bit of glue there. You know what? That's okay, because not glue, ink on my finger. Let me grab just a wipe here. See, even when I pre-record these videos, I can't get them perfect. But that's okay. You know, that's what gems are for, right? That's what we do. We add gems where we need them, or ribbon. That's what we end up doing. Maybe I can even scooch a lemon down low enough there. So I like how that's looking so far. So let's get our die cuts out. When I'm doing a lot of cards, I like to keep everything together in a dish. I think it works much easier for me. Okay, so want to bring this here. That'll be pretty. Let's bring this one down there. And then I think we're going to set that one up. Perfect. All right. So let's go ahead and put these together. If you are a demonstrator, then you've already gotten your new mini catalog. It's so good. I can't wait to share it with everybody. If you're not a demonstrator and you want to see that mini catalog, the starter kit is always a great way. It's always a great deal. And then you would get to see it in advance, just like we do. And no selling, of course, is required. And if you are happy to wait and you still need a catalog, just send me a message and I will send one off in the mail to you when I can. As soon as I'm allowed to, I should say. If you placed an order with me in the last 6 months to a year, then your catalog's on the way. Okay, so let's go ahead and pop this up like that. Or I don't know if it's on the way, but anyway, I have one that's scheduled to go to you. There you go. That's pretty, isn't it? I just love it. Okay, now time to add in our leaves. Let's add in our leaves here. So I think we'll put this one here. I kind of like how I did the leaves on this card, so I'm really mimicking that. And then let's put this right there. Kind of, that's pretty. Let me know what you think. So I don't know about the rest of you, but I do have a hard time making the same card twice. I just always like to do a little bit something different, even if it's not much, you know, change the layout a little bit, change the, you know, whether it's landscape or portrait, just a little something. You know, I'm going to sneak that leaf right down there, a little bit lower than the other one, but I covered up my oops, and there you go. Just that easy. That's what die cuts are for. I always say, that's what die cuts are for. Die cuts and gems or ribbon. Hide those little mistakes that we make. I always sometimes wonder, gosh, if it didn't have a mistake in it, would it really be a card for me? Anyway, so there we go. Now for the flowers. I'm going to show you how to dress these up once they're on the card. So I want 2 small ones and a big one. I'm going to flip them over here. Flip them over, and I am going to just add some of these mini dimensionals right in the center of the small ones. And I'll take a regular size dimensional for the larger one. And both sizes of dimensionals can be found in my online store. Okay, so let's pop this flower here. So pretty. Let's pop this flower right there. And we have one more left. Let's pop this one just so we can tell a little bit of variation there. Let's go like that. Okay. So, have you seen the Wink of Stella pens? I love Wink of Stella. Love, love, love it. But my tip to you is make sure you start it. If you need more, it's a glitter pen. Make sure you start it on a piece of scratch paper. You don't want to press on it too hard on your project because more than one of us has flooded an image with this sparkle stuff. It can come out really fast sometimes, and Wink of Stella is beautiful unless it's in a big clump, and then not so much. So always make sure you have enough in your brush, but definitely do start it on a piece of scratch paper. I don't know if you can see the glimmer, but adds just a little something extra. Okay, now for those gems that we colored, let me grab those and my take your pick tool. So let me get that out. And we're gonna elevate these even a little bit more, these flowers. Look at that. They just really came to life now, didn't they? Just by adding that little touch there. Okay, so the front of my card is done. Now I'm going to go ahead and add this to my card base. Now you're probably saying, now Colleen, why didn't you just do that all at once? Because I have found that I will make mistakes and it's easier for me to work with the card base or with the card layer than it is for me with the card base, the card layer, and anything I might have put in the wrong spot. So that's why I do it this way. But again, you know, card making is such an individual craft that I always say everyone comes up with their own system, and that's great. Okay, so this is the Berry Burst. What do you think about this color? I like how the yellow pops on it, but I also really like the Fresh Freesia. And I like this Fresh Freesia, so you're gonna have to let me know. Follow me on my social channels. I'm on Instagram and YouTube and Facebook and some of the other ones, but I always do fun things like this and that, and like which one do you like better, and on Facebook in particular, I will keep you updated on anything related to Stampin' Up. Okay, everyone have a wonderful day, and thanks so much for joining me.